Just to let everyone know, Taylor and I got engaged last week. We wanted to keep it a secret from everyone because we wanted some privacy.
On a calm Sunday afternoon in September 2025, Donna Kelsey made a choice that would forever alter the relationship between Taylor Swift and her son, Travis. Travis was sleeping upstairs after practice as usual when Donna stealthily took out the old family photo albums she had been keeping hidden in her bedroom closet for weeks. Ever since she had observed that Taylor always appeared to become tense when Travis attempted to express his more intense emotions, she had been preparing for this moment. The events that followed would show a side of Travis that not even Taylor had ever seen, and Donna's covert scheme would either strengthen their bond or lead to their most significant argument. That afternoon was unusually quiet at the Kelsey family home in Leawood, Kansas. Travis's soft snoring from upstairs and the soft hum of the dishwasher took the place of the usual chaos of game day preparations. An hour earlier, Taylor had shown up with homemade cookies and that anxious energy she always had when she wasn't sure how to support Travis during his emotional outbursts after games. She discovered that although Travis seemed unbeatable on the field, he frequently battled self-doubt following games, particularly the difficult defeat. For months, Dawn had been observing this pattern. She had observed how Taylor would linger around Travis, attempting to console him but failing to find a way to get past his defensive barriers. Taylor's lack of concern wasn't the issue. Everyone could see that she was totally committed to Travis.
I proposed to her in a location that I won't mention, but that location holds a special place in both our hearts. And she said yes and started crying her eyes out. And I was going to propose to her if we won the Super Bowl. But as you guys know, the Eagles absolutely destroyed us and our awful O-line. So I had to delay the proposal an extra couple weeks.
The problem was that even from the woman he loved most, Travis had learned throughout his life to conceal his vulnerable moments. Donna patted the couch cushion next to her and said, "Come sit with me for a minute, Taylor, honey. We have to do this before Travis wakes up, but I want to show you something." After responding to emails regarding her forthcoming tour dates, Taylor looked up from her phone. She instantly put the device down and focused entirely on Donna because of something in her voice. "Donna, is everything all right?" "Everything is all right, my love. But I believe it's time you learn something about my son that he will never share with you." Taylor's breath caught in her throat as Donna opened the first picture album. Pictures of a much younger Travis, most likely around 8 years old, wearing different football uniforms filled the page. However, it wasn't his athletic ability that caught Taylor's attention right away. It was the look in his eyes. But hold on, something even more startling is about to happen that will alter your perception of their entire relationship. Young Travis appeared overwhelmed, nervous, and occasionally on the edge of tears in picture after picture. These weren't the jubilant victory photos that adorned the Kelsey residence's walls. Donna had captured these unguarded, unfiltered moments when she believed no one was watching. This one was taken immediately after his team lost the championship, Donna said, indicating a photo of Travis sitting by himself on a bench following what looked to be a youth football game. Because he missed one pass, the 8-year-old held himself responsible for the entire defeat. For 45 minutes, he sat on that bench and gazed at his cleats. As Taylor looked at the picture, her heart tightened. When Travis was processing a challenging game, the young boy in the photo looked just like him, but he lacked the practiced poise he had developed as an adult. She whispered that he was very young. He was very harsh on himself all the time. Donna kept flipping the page. Travis felt he was disappointing everyone if he wasn't perfect, even though Ed and I tried to explain that it was only a game and that he was meant to be enjoying himself. Take a look at this one. After what was obviously a victory, the following picture showed Travis, who was perhaps 9 years old, standing with his youth football team. Travis stood a little apart from the other boys, who were all celebrating, his expression solemn and intent, as though he was already considering how he could have performed better. He couldn't just enjoy it, even when they won, Donna explained. He was constantly considering the next game, the next task, and the next way he could let people down. At that point, I understood that my son had inherited more than just his athletic prowess. The burden of feeling that he needed to be strong for everyone else had been passed down to him. For a long time, Taylor remained silent as he examined each picture with fresh eyes. She was starting to see why Travis occasionally appeared to emotionally withdraw just when she needed to connect with him the most. Not because he didn't believe in her, it was because he had learned to bear his hardships by himself at a young age. Donna Taylor spoke quietly. Why are you now showing me this? Because it's clear to me that you adore him, and I can understand your frustration when he refuses to let you support him during difficult times. It's not about you, and I want you to know that. It tells the story of a young boy who came to feel that his value was based on being the strength of everyone. However, this is where Donna's plan takes a surprising turn that nobody anticipated. Taylor gasped as Donna flipped to the next page. A handwritten letter in a child's meticulous printing was nestled between two team photos. The paper looked worn and a little yellowed, as though it had been handled a lot over the years. Donna said, carefully taking the letter out of the album, "Travis wrote this when he was 10 years old. I discovered it in his room while doing laundry, but he never gave it to anyone. I've held on to it for all these years because I knew that one day it might help someone see the true self behind all that self-assurance." As Taylor unfolded the letter, her hands shook a little. The writing was in pencil, with some words rewritten with asterisks and others erased. "I hope you find someone who believes in you even when you make mistakes when you grow up, Travis. When you're depressed about football and don't want to talk about it. I hope she doesn't mind. I hope she enjoys the jokes you tell when you're afraid. I hope she understands that even when it doesn't seem like it, you put a lot of effort into your work. Even though you're not the strongest person in the room, I hope she stays. Little Travis, you have my love. P.S. I hope she bakes cookies well." As Taylor read the innocent words, tears welled up in her eyes. This letter wasn't written by a child. It was a hope and a prophecy that had somehow reached her over the course of 15 years. Taylor muttered that he was too young to be considering finding a partner who would embrace his flaws. "When I found it, I thought exactly that," Donna said. "I knew you were the answer to that young boy's prayer when I first met you because of your patience with him and the fact that you never made him feel bad about being human." They were talking when they heard footsteps on the stairs. Taylor made a hasty attempt to gather herself as Travis woke up from his nap, but she was easily identified by the tears in her eyes. "Mom." "What's happening down here, Taylor?" Travis showed up in the living room wearing a cheap sweatshirt, his hair disheveled from sleep, and a bewildered expression on his face. Uncertain if they should explain what had just transpired, Taylor turned to face Donna. However, Donna made the choice for them both. "Come sit down, Travis. I should have told Taylor about this a long time ago, but I just did." When Travis saw the photo album strewn all over the coffee table and the letter still in Taylor's hands, his expression changed from bewilderment to mild alarm. "What did you do, Mom?" Donna said plainly. "I showed her who you really are." "The NFL star, no, not the guy who must always be prepared with the ideal joke. But her, the young boy who, despite his lack of strength, wrote a letter to his future self, hoping that someone would love him. The moment that will alter everything between them is now approaching." Embarrassed, Travis slumped into the armchair across from them. "You had no right to run, Mom. Travis, please stop." With the letter still in hand, Taylor gently interrupted. "Observe me." She could see all the vulnerability he usually tried so hard to conceal when he reluctantly met her eyes. The same look in the pictures, that mixture of fear and hope that perhaps, just perhaps, he wouldn't be condemned for his imperfections. "When I look at these photos, do you know what I see?" Taylor pointed to the picture albums and asked. "I saw a young boy who was so concerned about acting morally that he placed pressure on himself that no child should ever experience. I saw a man who was already developing into the type of guy who would travel 3 states to ensure his girlfriend felt supported. I see the person who, in an attempt to cheer others up, taught himself to joke when he was afraid." Travis's eyes grew a little wider He had anticipated criticism, sympathy, or awkwardness. He hadn't anticipated comprehension. In this letter, Taylor added, displaying the soiled sheet of paper, "I wish I could go back in time and tell that young boy that he will find someone who believes in him even when he makes mistakes. When he needs some alone time to work through challenging emotions, he will find someone who is understanding. He'll find someone who appreciates his protective humor and understands that hard work doesn't always translate into success." Travis remained silent for a while, taking in what she had said. His voice was quieter than usual as he finally spoke. "I didn't intend for you to see those things. I am aware that you already have a lot on your plate without having to cope with my strange emotional baggage." Travis taking his and her hands, Taylor said, getting up from the couch to kneel in front of his chair. "It's not strange emotional baggage, that's simply human nature. Do you believe that I don't harbor a little scared child of my own? Do you believe that I don't occasionally feel inadequate, as if I'm disappointing people?" Travis remarked, "But you're Taylor Swift," as though that clarified everything. "And you're Travis Kelsey," Taylor said, grinning slightly. "Both of us are just individuals who happen to become exceptionally skilled at what we do. However, that doesn't mean we no longer require the same items that young children who are afraid need: love, tolerance, acceptance, and comprehension." As Donna realized that her plan had worked even better than she had anticipated, she watched this exchange with tears in her eyes. However, the biggest surprise is yet to come, and it has to do with something neither Travis nor Taylor anticipated. Donna reached into the bottom of the photo album box and said, "There's actually one more thing. I know you'll be mad at me for this, Travis, but Taylor must see it." She produced a tiny cassette tape, the type that was once included in kids' play recording devices. Travis's song For My Future Wife, written at the age of 7, was written on the label and faded marker. Travis's face flushed bright red. "No way, Mom. Years ago, that thing ought to have been destroyed. What is it?" Despite Travis's obvious embarrassment, Taylor asked with interest. Travis saw a movie when he was 7 years old in which the protagonist composed a song for the woman he would eventually marry. Travis made the decision that he should follow suit in case he forgot. As he grew older, Taylor gave Travis a very happy look. "When you were 7 years old, you composed a song for me." Travis objected, "I didn't write you a song," but now he was fighting a smile. "For my future spouse, I composed a song. It never occurred to me that it would turn out to be someone who truly knows how to write songs. I must hear this," Taylor uttered. And Donna was already on her way to the old boombox in the kitchen, in spite of Travis's persistent objections. One of their most cherished memories together would be what transpired next. The sound of a 7-year-old Travis singing an off-key but incredibly heartfelt song about hoping his future wife would enjoy football and wouldn't mind if he forgot to take out the trash occasionally filled the room as the Tenny recording played. A verse about how he would share his favorite snacks with her and always let her choose the TV channel was among the innocent and endearing lyrics. All three of them were laughing through their tears by the end of the song. Joy, acceptance, and the kind of love that can only come from genuinely seeing and understanding someone had taken the place of the fear and vulnerability that had previously pervaded the space. Please hit the like button and share a time when someone's early memories helped you better understand them in the comments section if you're enjoying seeing this vulnerable side of their relationship. What's lovely about this, you know? Wiping tears from her cheeks, Taylor spoke. That young child received everything he requested. Because she enjoys watching him play, he found a football enthusiast, someone who is unconcerned when he forgets to take out the trash, someone who is content to compromise on TV channels and share snacks. And she went on, staring at Travis. He discovered a person who accepts him for who he is. The man who learned to be strong for others and everyone in between, and the young boy who was afraid of disappointing others. Travis remained silent for a while. Then he got up and drew Taylor into an embrace that felt different from the others, deeper, more complete, as if he was finally letting her hold him in all his parts rather than just the ones he deemed appropriate. He whispered into her hair, "Thank you." And Taylor realized he was speaking to both his mother and her. Taylor returned the whisper, thank you for the song. I believe it's the most truthful song I've ever heard someone write for me." Later that evening, after Travis had recovered enough from his humiliation to make light of his early musical ambitions and Donna had put the picture albums away, Taylor found herself reflecting on the surprise present she had received. In addition to providing a window into Travis's early years, it serves as a reminder that everyone harbors a younger version of themselves, the vulnerable, hopeful, and fearful aspects that never truly go away. She reflected on her own 7-year-old self. In the hopes of finding someone who would enjoy her songs, the young girl would sing into a hairbrush in her bedroom mirror. In ways she could never have predicted, that young girl had also received her wish. However, Donna's plan takes a last turn that fundamentally alters their future together. Donna drew Taylor away again as they prepared to depart. She whispered, "There's something else I want you to know. I've also been keeping all the articles about you, but Travis is unaware of this, everything, every picture. Not because he's famous or well known, but because I can see the same expression on his face when he looks at you as he did in that letter," Hope realized. Donna went on, "He's not that scared little boy anymore, but when he's with you, he's also not attempting to be someone else. You've allowed him to be both confident and unsure, strong and vulnerable. The football player and the individual who requires solitude to work through his emotions." The full impact of Donna's words was felt by Taylor. "He's found his safe person, you say." "You both have," Donna smiled in response. "And at last the frightened young boy who wrote that letter is home." That evening, Taylor reflected on the unanticipated transition from childhood fantasies to adult reality as they drove back to Travis's house. Somehow, the 7-year-old boy who recorded a song for his future wife had discovered a woman who would be able to relate to both his hardships and his achievements. The young girl who sang into her hairbrush had discovered a man who would cherish her heart as much as her talent. As they sat at a red light, Travis looked at Penny and asked, "What are your thoughts?" Taylor responded, "I was just thinking about how sometimes the best plans are the ones we make when we're too young to know they're impossible." Knowing exactly what she meant, Travis grinned. "Yes, it seems that I was quite intelligent when I was 7 years old." He was aware that making delicious cookies would be crucial. Recalling the postscript on the letter, Taylor chuckled. "I'm glad I mastered the chocolate chip recipe." Travis reached over to take her hands and remarked, "Good thing you perfected a lot of things." In all honesty, though, I believe that the mere knowledge that you would arrive would have pleased me when I was 7 years old. Taylor suddenly understood that Donna's covert scheme had involved more than just disclosing embarrassing childhood recordings or old photos. It had been about demonstrating to them both that their love story had begun long before they had ever met, in the aspirations and hopes of two young people who somehow knew they would one day find exactly what they needed in one another. How do you feel about this thorough investigation into how our relationships as adults can be influenced by our childhood dreams? Have you ever learned something new about your partner's past that improved your understanding of them? Tell me in the comments section below. For more untold tales of the intimate moments that give public relationships their authenticity, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the most romantic tales begin with songs that were never heard and letters that were never sent, until the perfect person came along to take him in.